Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Excuse my appearance, I'm just lounging around today because it's my day off. But I was super excited to film this video for you guys today. So I'm going to be giving you my first impression and thoughts on a new brand at Sephora. I've known about it for a little while since I do work there, but I'm finally able to talk about it because today was the launch day. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is Rihanna's line in Sephora called Fenty Beauty. I have a few products here to talk to you guys about, let you know my thoughts on, so if you want to know more, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so I have a couple products here from the line that I'm going to show you guys. The first one is her foundation. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's just a frosted glass bottle, and then it does have a pump on it with the logo Fenty Beauty just right across the front. I got mine in shade 240, so we're going to see if this works out. She has a lot of shades in this foundation range. I think there was 40. But from trying them out, like the different testers that we had and looking at the little sheet that she provided with all of the colors and their undertones, it didn't look like there was a perfect one for me. I'm pretty yellow, especially like my body and like when I have a tan and stuff, which my arms are pretty tan right now. And this was the closest yellow undertone one, but I think it's going to be a little dark. If I went lighter, it was either going to be too pink or just too light if it was yellow enough for me. So this looked like it was going to be the closest shade. I know just from getting educated at work about this product that it's definitely going to oxidize, and just from playing around with it, it looks like it oxidizes a lot. So I'm hoping that it doesn't look too far off on me because I know it's going to be a little bit dark, but I'm going to make it work. I can make it work. I can make almost anything work if it's not too far off. So we're going to try that out today. I know it's going to be more of a mattifying foundation, so in the future I might just mix it with something lighter that gives a little bit more of a glow if I need to, but we're going to see how that works today on its own. I'm going to use a brush on one side and then a beauty blender on the other side. The other product that I have is her KILLAWATT Highlighter Duo. This is what the packaging looks like for that one, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's test out this foundation. Just for reference as well, this has a 1.08 fluid ounces, so pretty much 1 ounce, which is standard for a foundation. I'm going to start off with my primer. So usually I use 2 primers, one for the majority of my face, usually like a hydrating primer, or this one is the Laure Mercier Radiance primer. That's what it looks like. Because most of my face is pretty normal to a little bit dry. It's just my T-zone that's a little bit oily. But even at that, it's not super oily. I don't like using like mattifying products. So I use that for majority of my face. But I do have large pores, so I use the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer, or any pore minimizing primer. I usually switch between a few. And I just put a little bit of that. I just tap it into the center of my face, like right here by my cheeks and on my nose where I do have the larger pores. And we're really going to be able to test out the coverage of this foundation today because, as you can see, I have a few little friends and friends that I picked away, which is horrible to say, but I did. So we're going to see if it can cover those up, and then I just have a little bit of redness, so we're really going to be able to test that out today. So let's get started. I'm just going to shake this up because it does say shake well on it. And then we'll do the brush side first. So I just put, I don't know if you can see that, I just put about, I would say less than a half pump. And we're doing this on my right side with the brush. So far, it doesn't look like it's the fullest coverage. Like if you've tried Kat Von D or Urban Decay's All Nighter, I would say those are more full. But this reminds me of the coverage of maybe like Too Faced Born This Way. But it's already definitely more matte. And I can definitely tell this is too dark for me. But we're going to make it work with concealer later on. It's not too far off. It feels nice and lightweight, so it doesn't really feel heavy like something like the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation would. It's pretty good coverage though. Most of my spots are getting covered except for this little kind of scab where I picked at a blemish that I shouldn't have. Don't ever do that, guys. And I can kind of see some dark spots from old breakouts peeking through, but it's nothing horrible. I would say it's similar coverage to the foundations that I use on a regular basis. So like I said, the Too Faced Born This Way, if you've tried that one. And I'm just going over those spots again to see if I can get a little more. It definitely doesn't look bad with the brush, and probably since I used a Radiance primer underneath, it's not like too matte. It's still more matte than I'm used to, but I can see that glow peeking through, like when the light is kind of hitting. But it's kind of like a soft matte look. Okay. Make sure I get a little by my jawline. I know it looks kind of funny because I skipped my eye area, but I don't like putting foundation in that area. I'd rather just put concealer there because I don't want it to be too heavy, so I'm going to leave it off of there. But that is what one half looks like. I'm going to try one more time just to go over this little spot. I'm going to get a smaller brush. So I'm going to get a smaller, more dense concealer brush and just kind of pack it in that area and see what happens. Yeah, so it's still not covering that spot super good, which is fine. Like, I'm not the type of person who cares if like a little bit is showing. So it's fine for me. It looks pretty natural aside from the fact that it's a little bit dark, but that's okay. I like it so far. Okay, let's try the other side with the Beauty Blender. I would say on this side, I mean, I didn't pump out like a whole pump. I was just doing like little pumps at a time. But I would say I used like maybe a full pump, but maybe even a little less. So let's try this side. I don't have as much to cover on this side, but we'll still see. Okay, so I can already tell that with the Beauty Blender I'm getting a lot less coverage. Even though I don't have as much to cover on this side, I can still see my skin peeking through a lot more. So it's definitely getting soaked up a lot by my Beauty Blender. It doesn't look bad still though, but if you're wanting more coverage out of it, definitely go with a brush, but that's typical with most foundations. Well, I usually like a Beauty Blender better. Let's go in with just a little more. No, I like both sides, guys. I would say if you're not too worried about getting as much coverage as possible, go ahead and use your sponge. But if you're worried about it not covering everything, then you might want to stick to your brush. But it looks fine with either one. I'm just going through with my brush and adding a little bit on those spots that need a little more. Yeah, I really like it. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I use the Radiance primer underneath, but it's not too matte or anything. And usually I don't like matte foundations at all. But this one's supposed to be like a soft matte, so maybe that's why, because it's not like too crazy. I don't know if you guys can tell or what you think. This is what it looks like. I'm sorry that it's not the perfect shade, but it's not too far off. It's pretty good. Like I said, you can still see that little guy peeking through, but I am not too worried about it. And it's not like super clinging to any dry spots or anything like that. It feels good. It feels nice and light on my skin. It already feels like it's pretty much setting. But I didn't feel like I had to work like overly fast to blend it in, like the All Nighter foundation from Urban Decay. That one you have to work with super fast or it's gonna dry on you. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. So far I like it. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup aside from the highlight, and then I'll give you guys some updated thoughts on the foundation if I have any, and then I'll come back so that we can try out the highlight together. Okay, so I finished off the rest of my makeup aside from my highlight. So far it's looking pretty good. I'll get into any more thoughts that I have on it after we try out this highlight. So the highlight that I have is her KILLAWATT duo in Mean Money and Hustla Baby. This is what it looks like. It's just a white package. What is this? Octagon? I think it's an octagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it has 8 sides. And then it kind of has like an opalescent purple iridescent shift to it, like once you turn it. I don't know if you can see. And then when you open it up, this is what the inside looks like. So I did already swatch this, but I have not applied it to my face. So we're gonna try that out. Let me grab a brush. So the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M501. This is what I always use for my highlight. So there's 2 sides. I'm going to try Mean Money first. That's this one on this side, just because that one looks a lot more subdued than the Hustla Baby shade. So I'm going to try this one first because I'm probably going to, almost guaranteed, going to go over with this shade. So this one's kind of just like a beige color with like a gold shift to it. Yeah, it definitely looks more gold on the face. It's actually showing up more than I thought it would. Just from when I swatched it yesterday, it didn't seem like it was going to show up very much, but it's showing up more than I thought. But it's still more natural than I would go for. But for anyone that just likes a soft glow, this would probably be for you. This might be what I would use like on my nose, because I don't like too much on there, but I do like some. And then like the brow bone. Let me get another brush. Okay, so there's like a subtle glow there from that. It's really nice. It's not like the most subtle glow I've ever had, but your girl needs more. So let's go in with a more intense one. There we go. This is definitely more of a gold highlight, but there's almost like a rosy like undertone to it. Let's just go all out. I'm sure you can see that now. Love it. Actually, I really like this one. The other side's fine. It's not the best thing I've ever used. It's kind of like, since I'm extra, that like something I would use when I'm going to the gym, because yeah, I still apply highlight going to the gym. It's like enough, but I would definitely use the other side on a more regular basis. So the Hustla Baby is the one I like more. What do you guys think? Alright, so now we'll just get into my final thoughts. So let's start with the foundation. I think it looks really, really good. This is probably the first matte foundation that I've really, really liked. Probably because it's not too matte, and then the Radiance primer that I used under it I think really helped too. I haven't been wearing it for that long. I'd say like maybe an hour. Definitely oxidizes, I'll say that. So I would recommend going in store if you're going to pick this up, just so you can kind of play with the shades before you actually get it. Because it's going to change a little bit from when you first apply it to after you've been like wearing it for maybe like a minute or two. Now that I have like all of my highlight and contour and everything, I think it looks good. Like I don't think it looks too far off or anything, but I would probably go a shade lighter. So that's up to you. But I really like the way it looks. I think it's going to last pretty well throughout the day just from how quickly it's set and how it's not really moving around while it's on right now. And I've been in front of these hot lights for a while. So I really like that. I want to say the price on this one is either, I want to say it's $36. I do think it's $36. So that's pretty typical for Sephora. It's actually pretty good because like Clinique is like $28, which is like the low end at Sephora. And then you have NARS, which is like $48. So this is like right in the middle, which is pretty good. And then the highlight. I would say this is not my favorite highlight ever. The second shade that I put after is super pretty, but just based on the price and how much product you get and knowing that I probably won't use the other side that much, I don't know if I would have bought this if it wasn't gifted to me from work. I'm pretty sure she has highlighters that are all like one color and not split pan like this. So if you're interested in her highlights, I would check those out because I'm pretty sure this is $32 or $34. And to know that you'll only really be using one side most of the time, I don't think that's worth the price. I really liked the formula to the second one. So if her single colored one pan highlights are like that, then I think those would be really good. Overall, I'd say I'm really impressed. I think I'm going to pick up a few more things. I think I want to try out the lip gloss and then maybe like a contour stick or something like that. Hopefully she'll expand her line more and get into like some eyeshadows and maybe like some more lip products. That would be awesome. But so far I'm really impressed. I love the packaging. Everything looks really good and went on really nicely. So hopefully it wears well throughout the rest of the day. If you guys want to hear any future thoughts on any of the products that I tried for you guys today, go ahead and tune into my next videos. Go ahead and follow any of my social media because I'll probably be talking about them on there. And like and comment and subscribe for me. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Also, leave me some comments. Let me know if you guys picked anything up and what you thought about them or if you plan on picking anything up. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.